We are counting down 6 days for the official launch of the 2025 presidential election campaigns across the nation. The Constitution stipulates that campaigns will be launched 2 weeks to the election day. The election is previewed to take place on the 12th of October 2025. With several calls being made across the aisle, with some believe that their candidate has what it takes to win the election. Others of the opinion that a huge voter turnout can only be active if some key political figures come together to decide to form what is called a consensual candidate. Others of the opinion that CPDM has already won. With this diversity and this plurality of opinion, one is tempted to look at the socio-demographic factor of Cameroon as being playing a key role in terms of the mentality and what people have. Within the street of Cameroon, the talk of who will become the next president is echoed right deep into areas that are described as being apolitical and non-partisan. Whether we claim to be apolitical and non-partisan, there come a time when our decision to whoever becomes the president of the nation will be a political one. However, there have been several calls on some individuals to make sure that when participating in the election, they should actually do that not because they have been paid, but because they know they have a duty and responsibility to save this nation. With 12 candidates, including President Paul Biya, all lining up for the campaigns, all eyes are now focused on the President of the Republic to see if he will actually galvanize force and move across the 10 regions of our nation as other leaders and other opposition candidates are doing. However, as we move closer to the campaign period, one thing we must let Cameroonians know is that the politics of brutality should be condemned. The politics where people think that they can openly insult one another should be highly condemned. That politics, the politics of bullying people because they support a particular political party, should not be tolerated, because democracy is a respect of one's opinion. Respectfully disagree to agree, where people bring in their opinion, and the best opinion is bought by those who have the franchise and the legitimacy to cast their ballot. Over the years and months, we are seeing how people are being bullied because they support a particular political party or not. Cameroon's constitution, as stipulated in the 1990s, following the reintroduction of multi-party politics and also the organization of the first multi-party election, it stipulates that individuals have the right to belong to any political party, regardless of whatever the political, as long as the political party respect the policies and procedures, laws governing Cameroon. However, within a short period of time, we have watched videos online with others bullying some of supporting a particular political party. Let it be clear, we are in a democracy. It should be a cell of ideology, not a cell of brutality. Whatever the case is, the question we are asking today is, what are the priorities of voters in the upcoming 2025 presidential election? This is Tah Mai Javis on House of Commons. I want to wish happy Sunday to all those of you watching us on social media, on Facebook. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to those of you watching us on television, watching us across different parts of the world, in and out of Cameroon. Happy Sunday to you. And if you are just joining us, you're watching the House of Commons. Today we are looking at voters' priority. What are voters' priority in the upcoming 2025 presidential election? We have a cream of panelists whom we have actually invited to take part in this election, in this discussion, where we shall be looking at. Some of them are party members, others who are yet to come are members of the civil society. In the studio, we are joined by Mr. Prizo Eyemjo, who is a representative of the Search Espoir Matomba's political party, known as PURS, which is a political party that believes that they have what it takes to actually change and remove President Paul Biya and bring the much desired change that some Cameroonians who are calling for change politically have been clamoring for. Good morning, sir, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation. I first want to say my appreciation of my political party, my leader, for this invitation. I think it shows that you have a great interest about what is coming on. And by the way, I want to extend our greetings to all your televiewers, wherever they are, across the country and abroad. I also want to greet all the militants of our political party and those who are sympathizers, hoping that they will get the best of this panel by the time we are going to close this program, and eventually they will be well prepared to face the vote on the 12th October. And I think it is also worth extending my greetings and saying that I'm very glad to share this panel with those who are invited.
Okay. In the studio, we are also joined by Mr. Yaya Emmanuel, who is now officially representing the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, CPDM. He's of the opinion that only President Paul Biya, their champion, has the power and the skills and technical know-how to make sure that Cameroon attain its Vision 2035. Welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Tah Mai Javis, and good morning to my fellow panelists and to those who are still to come. Today is another day, and we are glad to be here to talk about Cameroon and to talk about the presidential elections that are coming up in October 12th. The environment is steaming. People are gathering momentum. The momentum is rising. People are thinking of what is to happen and how it's going to happen. Everybody is saying there's going to be change. Everybody needs change in Cameroon. And I want to tell you that, Cameroonians, please, we started this doctrine many years ago. We should be careful not to listen to people who can only promise but do not deliver. We should be careful to listen to people who wants to demonstrate, who wants to bring in the issue of force. No Cameroonian, as I speak to you right now, there is a unity march in Yaoundé going on at the 20th May Boulevard to tell you that people, Cameroonians, we are not more at that gullible level where we are supposed to be manipulated to get to the street to march in favor of for peace. We want peace at all costs, and that is why we, even of the CPGM, we have never been encouraging anybody to move down to the street. And just like the Minister of Territorial Administration said, if there's something that does not favor you, please, it is democracy. And if you want to cry, go and cry in your room. It is very important, because we looked at him as if though he was joking, but he was actually saying it right. Because at the level where we are, our democracy is gradually maturing. We have all the blames to label left and right, say everything. But one thing we are forgetting to know is that, to appreciate the fact that our democracy, Cameroonian democracy, is gradually getting to the level of others. And that is why I always find it difficult to see people who stand to only criticize, to say this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, without actually recognizing that, yes, something has been done, but it hasn't been done up to the level. And then when you talk from there, that's how we want to think that, like the CPM functions like a science, like a laboratory science.
I'm not even asking my question.
Yeah, I'm coming.
I was just saying that thank you for coming.
We are going to be there. So like I want to say, the CPM functions like laboratory science. They keep on, everything is a new discovery. Everything is a new discovery. I'm going to be coming back to you. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Priso, this is your first time of being with us, House of Commons. I'll begin the program with you. We are looking at 2025. We are counting 6 days to the official launch of campaigns. What are voters' priority, and what does Pius foresee in terms of voters' priority?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. But before I get to answering the question, I think it's very, very important to lay down some principles or some prerequisites. Before we talk about what the voters may want, I think it is necessary to discuss the interests of the voters against this election. And obviously, when we look at some features, that is what is going on across the week, you know, debates, when you meet people on the streets, you know, we are in a period of pre-campaign. And then you add to it the amount or the degree of interest people have to collect their voters' card. Obviously, the very first question we could ask is to know what is the interest. Are Cameroonians or voters interested to these elections? Obviously, there is a lot of noise going on concerning the elections. But when, you know, the number or the level of voters, you know, who have registered regularly does not, you know, show that the voters understand the stakes of what is going to happen on the 12th. It makes us to be a bit skeptical. And that's why we want to encourage them, all those who have registered, to go to yes, wherever they registered, to collect their voters' card. Because it is a right, it's a civic and political right to own a voter's card and then to participate to elections, because this, we all know, contributes to the, you know, the governance of the country. Every single citizen is, I want to say, has the obligation to take part in any way. And so said, when we talk about the wants, the other thing I want to mention here first is that when we talk about politics, we have to consider, you know, the different levels from which citizens in a country should lay their expectations. Because we know that let's say, first of all, there are basic needs which maybe we may consider them to be wants. There are basic needs which every single citizen must have right to access to. But you also have individual needs or individual wants. And so said, we will realize that we are like in a situation of confusion, because the population seems not to be very well educated, you know, being enough abreast of these realities. So definitely you have someone who have some particular needs or wants which might not, you know, befit any good or the policies that are public. And this is a serious problem, beside the fact that when we look at what is happening around us today, you know, we have, for example, the crisis in the Northwest and Southwest, which has lasted for long. And you agree with me that the people there might have some other ones that are different from what is happening in the other regions. If you go to the far north, in the far north, the north and Adamawa, you know, these expectations are different. If you go to the central, so apparently it gives the impression that Cameroonians are not united in mind in respect of what has actually to be, you know, served to them. And that's the reason why we want to call on Cameroonians to know that there are common needs to all citizens. And we in our political party, the UPSR, led by Serge Matumba, our interest is to see that we are going to give out to Cameroonians what is needed for everything. That is what is common, that which is common. And between these provisions, we talk about education, equal opportunities for education. We expect that if we have to take over power, we are going to guarantee that families have a covering. Mm-hmm. Yes. And this is very, very important. Yesterday I was reading a paper where we're told that the National Insurance Fund has to, or we're about entry into the purchase of Shokokam, but lands that were seized by the government from the Benin people, and so on. So what we are going to see is that we review our constitution so that we can guarantee basic rights to all Cameroonians, and then we also secure their economic, their political rights. And we believe that if we do all these things, eventually Cameroonians will feel at ease and will actually enjoy their quality of citizens in this country. Because we are fed up with this issue of, you know, young people always complaining, citizens, you know. For example, whenever anything happened today, and then, you know, you have some journalists who come around, what happens is people are crying and calling for help from the head of state. But it is not the head of state alone who is able to satisfy, to do everything. And so we want to do all to see that the communities, the people, you know, wherever they are found, will be given enough means, will be put in the conditions where they will be able to handle most of the, you know, issues that may come about. Like we are talking today about decentralization. We are going to see that we actually decentralize powers.
Okay, so you believe that the current decentralization has failed?
It has failed. It has failed because you see, if you look at the Ministry of Decentralization, for example, that ministry, the minister they stand as somebody who want to keep on lecturing mayors on I don't know what. Mayors are not children. You have mayors today who are professors in the university. You have mayors today.
But they are not professors in management.
No, but you also have those who are better in management than the minister himself. So you cannot, you know, it is just like demeaning the people. I think the most, the best way to encourage something, to encourage somebody or even something to be done, is to recognize that the people to whom the responsibility has been given to do it are capable, are qualified. And I think that it is the populations or the voters, the community, that has to, you know, to assess whether what you are doing is right or wrong. Because if you are a mayor, for example, it is the population that voted you that will tell whether you are doing your work as they expect it or not. That if people think that, okay, like the CPDM thinks that is the minister that has to come lecturing, I don't know how many mayors, all the mayors that we have in the country, when are we going to really apply the decentralization? I think they have to understand that Cameroonians are mature enough, they are lectured enough, they are educated enough, and they are able, you know, to handle issues at local level. And this is what we want to see that we're going to guarantee, yes, by reviewing our constitutions.
Okay, we'll be coming back to you, Mr. Emmanuel. What should be voters' priority?
Okay, thank you for giving me the floor again. We are first of all trying to encourage our voters, who are our main target. The voters now are the assets politicians do have. Voters now are the assets politicians do have. And what they expect from the various politicians who are there are a lot of things. As a voter, we expect to hear politicians talk to Cameroonians about security and peace. Let that politician, let that candidate bring forth that ideology or that development that is going to show that with him we are going to have peace, we are going to have enough security. Secondly, we are looking at the economic manifesto of each political candidate. Who is that candidate who has brought forth? That's what voters want to hear. They want to hear those economic structural programs that the politician is going to develop, is going to bring, so that it's going to provide jobs, innovate the economy, improve the standard of living, reduce the cost of living, and everything that the economy demands from us. There are many others. We have the social structure. The voters as they are, the 8 million voters who are going to represent, who are going to decide the destiny of Cameroon as from the 12th of October. They need to hear, what they want is to hear that politician who comes with palpable project, not promise and fail, not promising what you don't have. And we already know, we have seen that from time immemorial. We have seen people who talk at the national level, and when they go down to maybe the local level, they are not ready, they are not even able to implement what they sung left and right. And that is what the voter is at times very skeptical to say, oh, this and this one is giving me this, is saying this, when he cannot realize it, he's doing it. And that's why we say voters need those social insurance policies that are going to enable the voter. If I give you my vote, what am I going to, how am I going to change, what are you going to change the society? Those social policies that we have, the social amenities, everything. We also need the voter. The voter also need to know from the politician what are those type of things, those institutional reforms that you are going to bring. You, my fellow panelists, spoke about the constitution. What is there? It does not suffice for us to come, for a politician to come and say, I'm going to change the constitution, this and that. Have you known the brain behind all of these things? You have to pick a particular article from the constitution and say, okay, this particular article of the constitution does not state well, or it has come to pass because it is right. For us to think that there are particular things of the constitution that we are right in 1996 and they are not right today. It's very important, and that is why we will tell Cameroonians that the CPDM functions like a laboratory. It adapts to every circumstance of the social strata. We were talking in 1996 when the constitution was introduced. The decentralization was not implemented because at that particular moment we needed to cement, to consolidate national unity. And at this moment in time that the decentralization has been brought forward, it is at that moment where everybody sees it that the local communities everywhere, everybody needs to be part and parcel of the government. And that is why the decentralization has been brought forth at the particular moment where everybody needed it. People will think that it's because of due to pressure. No. Like I said, we are developing, we are a growing democracy, and our democracy is not up to 100 years old. And we shouldn't behave, we shouldn't copy from people who are living around 500 years of democratic experience to compare with ours that is still growing. And that's why the voter wants to know we don't just want, we who are representing part of those voters, we don't want politicians who will come and tell us things that are far-fetched. Don't sell heaven to us on earth. Talk about what is real, what is going to happen, what we are seeing. And that is why it is very difficult. When I want to talk, I would like to bring it. It is very difficult for...
So the CPDM has all these things.
The CPDM, like I have already summarized it, policy of the CPDM, they function like a laboratory. For example,
why is it that the past 30 years people are crying?
We are developing. When we started, the CPDM came at a time where it was only one party. How did we develop? We changed from one party to multi-partyism. And is that not how a laboratory functions? A laboratory improves according to the needs and aspirations of the people. We have lapses everywhere. We have places where we have fallen short of glory, lack of will, and so on. And that's why we keep improving, because the scientific way, the truth of today can be lies of tomorrow. And that is why at the moment, if you don't have them, if you don't function with them, you cannot go forward.
So,
and that's why,
so in essence, you are saying that the decentralization put in by President Bobia, the party chairman and candidate, is working effectively.
It is working. I will not. Why should you ask me if it's working? Whereas you are a testimony to the fact. We are all testimony. Even the person from Pios is testifying that first of all he has already accepted that it's there, and then saying that it is there but not working, limping, and that's already a positive aspect. It is there.
Very brief. I want to ask you a question. Yeah, you say decentralization was put in place when?
In 1996.
When did they appoint a minister for decentralization?
That was in 2019.
How many years
down the road?
So do you think that we have to keep on postponing things because they are written in the Constitution? I think that is why we have to review the Constitution. That's one of the reasons. You mentioned it yourself. That it's 1996.
Constitution?
Yeah, Constitution.
Yes.
But how many years did you wait before there will be a ministry of decentralization? That is excuse me, that is total failure, because first of all, I want to explain something to you might not know.
Yes.
You know, the CPDM always want to set confusion everywhere. Today, as we are speaking, okay?
Yes.
When you are asked to tell who amongst the different ministries that interact with the local councils actually ensure the tutelage, will you be able to say it?
Yes.
You will not be able, because first of all, you have about 4 ministries.
Yes.
That want to, you don't know exactly which of the ministry is assuming this responsibility.
No,
you don't know whether it's MINAT, territorial administration. You do not know whether it's urban development. You do not know whether it's central decentralization.
Yeah, because that is a confusion which many people say. Many people say there's a bit of confusion because at one point in time you don't know who is doing what at what point. Because for example, they take the road in Bamenda. Let's take a road in Douala. Now they will tell you that this is a city road, this is a municipal road, this is a national road. Now who handles, because budget spread across, because one point in time if you say okay this road is housing and urban development, they say no, it is national road. When you say national road, they say no, it is city road. It's take city road, they say no, it's municipal. At the end of the day, who does what? But when credit comes, everybody fights on the credit.
And that is where we at times we get it wrong, because you cannot, if money has been allocated, let me start from you have people have answered it because you said money comes when the money is being disbursed. It disbursed under which tutelage? Who has it? And please, we should not be confused. I know the common man can be confused about that. The common man who sees, who just needs to see. Let me talk, please.
So
the
you
common
consider-
man,
I'm waiting for you to land.
So you consider that we are common people. We
I'm
don't
not
know
talking.
anything.
We are common people. The common man
No.
wants to see things done, and
Yes.
then because he doesn't have the patience to interrogate who does what. How can you say in the Ministry of Territorial Administration has its particular function in a municipality, and that's headed, let me say, in the subdivision. It's headed by the DO of a subdivision.
We're coming back to you.
Please let me round up. There's something. Then when you go to the Ministry of Decentralization,
Yes.
which is the tutelage of decentralization of all the municipalities in Cameroon, it has their own functions. And then when you go to urban development, it still has its own function. And there is no way, when we see, please, when we see, we should ask, we should try to know. When you talk about the national road, who have you seen, where in Cameroon have you seen? Okay, let's look at the.
Have you landed? And yes, describing land.
Yeah,
So let me get to me.
Yeah, how can you tell me that the national road, there is no way you will see the mayor disputing over a national road? It is not done. There are prescriptions.
Are you talking about roads that cut across cities?
The roads that cut across cities have specifications.
Are you
they have.
Do you know that there are roads that link two regions within the city, which when they ask that this person do it, this person say no, it is the public work. Public work will tell you that no, it is the regional assembly. The regional assembly will tell you that no, it is the municipal.
I have not come across that particular confusion you are talking about, because I know that issue.
Okay, let me take you in context.
Yes.
Now you say you have not come across that
Yes.
confusion.
Where people,
let me take
where
you,
those authorities.
Yes, I want to take you in context. It's
Yes.
not the issue of authorities, it's the issue of the work done.
Yes.
Let me take you into context. Let's go with Bamenda that you are familiar with.
Yes.
Now, who is in charge of the road in Bamenda Central? The one at City Chemist roundabout.
It's the city council.
Under which party?
The city council is under the CPDM.
Who is in charge of the gutters of the street of that city?
Bamenda, please.
No,
yes,
no, I want to.
Who is in charge?
Yes, of
please,
the gutters.
when you talk about,
You see, I've identified city council.
You have identified a particular position,
yes.
right?
No, I'm looking at the center, the commercial venue.
Good. You are looking at center, right?
Yes.
At the gutters there.
Yes, the
And
gutters. Which
First of all,
charge?
the city council, the commercial venue. First of all, is under Bamenda 1. Right?
Okay. No, I'm coming. I'm going
Yeah,
gradually.
which means that particular stretch of road, it has, in fact, it has been divided. The city council has a particular role to play.
Can you allow me ask you my question?
Go ahead.
I'm going chronologically.
Yes.
Who is in charge of the gutters
The gutters.
of the entire Bamenda, not just that road, the gutters, to make sure that gutters are everything is moving well.
The entire Bamenda. There are various councils.
Okay, let's take
Bamenda 1, Bamenda
let's take
2,
the one
Bamenda
of city commercial avenue.
The one of commercial avenue should be
Yes.
under Bamenda 1 council.
So what does the urban development town planning do?
As you really spend the urban development, they
And
are there
town planning.
And town planning, they give the structure, the planning of the town, and directives on how the various gutters are
So who
supposed
plan
to
the roads in a city?
These are a
Who plans
combination.
the route? They say okay, roads should pass here based on the vision. Who plans it?
It is a combination of
And
many factors.
when a road doesn't go so well in terms of the city vision,
The city vision.
who make sure that that's been done?
When the road does not go well, we blame the person overheading the construction.
Okay,
Yes.
now let's take the same Bamenda. What is the function of reconstruction?
The reconstruction.
When there is also public work that disburse money for construction, when there is also money given to at the level of the municipality to construct. Let's take the issue of classrooms.
Yes,
Let's go
of
the
course.
issue of classrooms.
Yes.
There's reconstruction now.
Yes.
That will reconstruct. There is also money that they will tell you that it is at the level of the regional assembly,
Yes.
which has to do that because the president of the regional assembly is chief executive officer, not longer the governor.
Exactly.
Now they also tell you that in that same area, urban development construct houses and construct also classrooms.
Urban development with a special budget construct.
Did you know here the other day that the urban development minister said
yeah.
the president probably has asked her to construct all these low cost houses?
That's why they construct low cost houses. Government do not construct low. Council do not construct low low-cost
So
housing.
in all fairness,
Yes.
I want a yes or no. In all
Yes.
fairness, you will say that decentralization is working effectively.
It is,
and there's no chaos in who's
no,
doing
no,
what.
no, 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 no. You don't ask me economic question. Decentralization, and like I said, we are in a.
You say you have not seen chaos.
We
now.
are in a growing democracy, and decentralization is gradually being implemented, and that's why these structures are there. We should not miss up.
No,
we should not.
you said you have not seen chaos.
Yeah, I have not seen chaos where a
In
city
the
mayor is
multiplicity of
denying.
function,
Wait,
where this one say no, it is this one. This one says no.
I have not seen that situation where a city mayor is denying his role, that this particular role was supposed to be done by me, and somebody else is accusing the person. Thank you.
Nick Arnold, thanks for joining us. Voters' priority.
Yeah, the voters' priority for October 2020 should be somebody or a group of people who will be able to reform the state. As when I talk of reforming the state, it means reforming the structure of the state. The present structure of the state is not in such a way that even if you come and replace Mr. Biya and maintain the very system, nothing will still change. The people, the suffering we are going through will still be the same. I felt a lot of pains hearing the representative of the CPDM trying to explain failure. You see, that's very difficult to explain something that's not working. So he did not really have the adjective to really describe something that has failed for like 43 years. And it is a normal rhetoric of members of that party trying to justify what is unjustifiable. So the aspiration of the state, or the aspiration of the Cameroonian people, should be to see changes at the level of the state. The present system in Cameroon is a hyper-centralized system, and you cannot pretend that there's decentralization in a hyper-centralized system. It doesn't work that anywhere. What they're doing is not decentralization in the real sense of it. What they're doing is they're trying to do a kind of deconcentration of services that are within them. And you see that even to deconcentrate what is within them to the local councils is still very difficult for them to do. That's why there's a lot of confusion and a lot of cacophony at the level of the so-called decentralization that is supposedly in place. How come a decentralization law will be put in place and 23 years after it is difficult to implement? 1996 to 2019, that the decentralization law was made. It was almost 23 years, right? So, which is, it means that it would take us more than 50 to 100 years to really fully implement decentralization as per what the CPDM people are saying, because they say a gradual implementation, as if they are using their salaries to implement, or their means of survival to implement the policy of decentralization. If the Cameroonian people are the one contributing money in terms of tax, money in terms of natural resources that are supposed to benefit everybody, if all these means are the ones that are being used to implement effective decentralization or a system that works for everybody, it shouldn't take infinity for that to be implemented. To me, it is just a kind of bad faith. It's just lack of political will that these people don't want a kind of change. And it is something that baffles everybody, because you will realize that most of those who are in top government positions, they are people who study out of this country. They study in one of the best schools. They've traveled around the world. They've seen how things work elsewhere. But it baffles us that when they come to their own land, it is difficult for them to implement all of these policies. It is, to me, I really like adjective to describe this kind of situation. Okay. Yeah. So anybody who coming or aiming to be the next president of this country should be somebody who's going to come to dismantle the system, reform the system, the structure of the state. The current structure of the state, as we maintain it, if it would take us more than 100 years, we will not be able to attain the desired development that we want. A lot of ministries, multiplicity of ministries doing one and the same thing, causing confusion every day. If you even talk about decentralization and the real sense of it, for decentralization, you don't even need a ministry of decentralization. If you want to give power to the local council, you give them the power and allow the law to be the judge. You don't need a minister of decentralization to be giving some people instruction, people who have been elected instruction on what to do and what not to do. And all of these things is very, very serious. Any presidential candidate who is coming in place should be somebody who is ready to scrap off all of these ministries. Ministries that are conflicting in functions. The next president of this country should be ready to scrap off all of these ministries and put a system that is accountable to the local people. Okay. The hyper-centralized system has not helped us for the past 50-something years since the independence of this nation. Hyper-centralized system, it started with the first president, continue with the current president, and we don't want, in the next republic, we don't want that kind of system again to continue if we really want development of this nation.
Okay, Mr. Pizzo. You talked a while ago about the issue of healthcare, issuing that the fact that our healthcare system needs massive improvement, and that those are the priorities of voters. Also look about the issue of roads, which are priority of voters. You are of Search Espoir Matumba of the UPS. UPSR party, yes, yes. Which in French is called PUS. Yes. Now, you in this issue raised by Emmanuel, which says that the issue about decentralization, to him, he has not seen error in terms of let's say where a mayor or a minister has said, no, this is not me doing this is me doing that. Search Espoir Matumba is going for presidential election. Are you confident that he will meet the aspirations of voters if elected?
Of course, he will do. He will meet the aspirations.
And how is he going to achieve those?
Well, first of all, I want to remind you that Search Espoir Matumba is part of the Bunaberi Council. It's a councillor. And then also is a grand councillor in Douala. So as a manager or a businessman as well, he knows how, he can go about this thing, because he has gathered a lot of information added to what we bring in from our experience. You see, I want to talk about it from the very, very, simple environment. When you get to a family, for example, or an association, a group of guys who are working together, for there to be effectiveness and efficiency in what you are doing, obviously what is important is the assignment or the role, the responsibility which every single person has to play in the group. And definitely what makes it to be efficient is, first of all, the law or rules that organize the group. And this is the same thing that applies when you get to a council, when you get to a ministry, when you get to a state. And that is why we said that the very first thing is to look into our constitution, because it's a constitution that determines, you know, how the state house has to function. That determines the power of the head of state and all other you know, organizations or structures of the state, and also the one of every single individual. And that is the reason, therefore, why we are focusing on reviewing our constitution. And by the way, if we succeed to, you know, let's say to be elected, if Sergio Tumba is elected, we are going to see into that, as you rightly ask, we're going to see that, you know, responsibilities as the government that we put in place will be concerned, will be very clearly defined.
Yeah.
What we are going to do is to avoid conflicts between, you know, ministries, between, you know, regional, divisional or subdivisional organizations, such that every single structure of the state, every single person, a civil servant who is appointed, every single agency will know exactly what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do what you have to do, or you are assigned to do at any position, what will be done is we are going to gather all, you know, the results, or we are going to gather all the reports that will be made from every officer and every office, and see that, you know, after evaluating what they have done, we can, you know, we can chart a way that will make their local assignments or their local achievement profitable to the entire citizens of the nation. Because you cannot want or desire that there should be improvement on something. If we take, for example, the road we are talking today, you know, for someone to say there are good roads in Douala today, or that discipline is done, I think that's to be a traitor. The roads are very, very bad.
So?
Let us just take the road that comes into this place. Let's go to the market. Let's go, I don't know, if you go to Bunamusadi, around Commissariat, the Bunamusadi, all over, let's go to the council mouth at the entry of the council. The roads are very, very bad, because actually we do not know who exactly has to take care of the roads. But if these assignments were clearly written on the paper, and you know, those who are in the top management who have to supervise it,
it's not
there would have been no problem. But it is because of conflicts. The mayor, the mayor of Douala 5, for example, we want to do this. No, they will tell you that no, it is the responsibility of the city mayor. The city mayor wants to take this responsibility over this the state of the road. No, they will tell you that no, it's urban development. The other day they will tell you that no, it's public work. And
but he's saying that he has never seen that kind of incident happen.
What happened?
It's badly because the very road that are kind that they are bad have been done by people, by the mayors, by the city council, and so on. By the very road. So which means that
no,
we are
say, excuse me.
You have raised an issue. Let me resolve.
I think your problem there.
Yes.
And the fault of the CPDM is that you do not know who exactly is in charge.
We know.
You do not know.
We know.
That is the reason why, even when you control a city like Douala, your mayors continue, you know, to fight one another. You remember, let me remind you that there was a conflict even between the mayor of Douala first, when the government delegate was there, with the government delegate, because of I think this issue of impounding vehicles.
Yes.
There was a problem, there was a quarrel, until they have to be an exchange of letters, which, you know, is not sound.
It was just misinterpretation of administrative text.
When you say just, when you say just, when you say just,
that shouldn't happen at all. That shouldn't happen if the responsibility, the functions are clearly spelled. And that it shouldn't happen. And it continues to happen even today.
You rightly said in the days of the government.
And he said, I'm saying even today, you have a lot of conflict. That's why
you see that the city council doesn't even supposed to exist.
Yes.
They're not even supposed to exist in the first place.
Mr. Emmanuel, you seem to have you wanted to actually react to it. But let me ask you the question, because you raised an issue. You said the roads you are talking about are the roads that have been done by the mayors. That's what you said.
Yes.
Now, my question to you is, how good were these roads done?
Now let's
because you answer. You said they have been done by the mayor. Let me take the issue of Sable, the road in Sable getting to Bonamusadi. That route has been constructed.
Yes.
And there are portions of that road that are really bad, causing traffic.
Yes.
So when you may say they have been constructed by the mayors, most of the mayors are your mayors. Is it what makes the road so bad within a short period of time?
Good. I have two answers to your question. The first thing we have to clear about that is that there's no problem of who is to do we should and we should do, because the road we are talking about have been constructed by institutions, either by the council, either by the city council, either by the Ministry of Urban Development, either by
you are saying either. I want specific. We are not using either.
No.
Which are not bringing the element of confusion.
No, I'm not confusing. I'm saying that many of those roads have been constructed. Let's put it that way, have been constructed by the council. They are cancelled within the council jurisdictions, right? Yes, so we should not be asking who is supposed to do that. They are saying that who is supposed to construct which road.
He has given you two examples. He has given you examples.
He has given me
examples. He is telling you that
about things that happen illegally. Please, I understand some of those things. I will not bring them here. What he's saying about a levying of a pounding of vehicles. Those are things that happen illegally, because we have jurisdictions where a council has limitation on what to do and what not to do. We understood. I even participated in one issue where a bike was caught somewhere and then taken to another, and you discover that it is not even the mayors who are doing those things. There are agents who just want to sabotage people. I will not go there. Now let me talk about what happens. The roads are there, and now if the roads are bad, we have two things to say. If the roads were constructed not well constructed, you have to blame the mayors, and that is what we have always been shouting at. You go to the court, you will see. You go to the state audit.
These mayors are under which party?
Even they are CPD mayors, and because they are CPD mayors doesn't mean that they are scot free. They will have to pay. They will go in for it. And there are many of them. Go to the court, you will see.
But these are the same people championing President
Go to Canal. Go to Canal. Go to all the investigative agencies. You will see files of all those people who do not carry out the instruction, who do not do what is supposed to be done. We are not saying that because we are the CPD, when you do bad work, you are not going to be punished.
And what has happened to them?
If that was the case, you would not see there are many mayors in prison, there are many ministers in prison, there are many DJs in prison. All of them are CPD members, and that is why we don't condone, we don't romance incompetency. But it happened. We're in a growing society. It happened. The CPDM does not romance incompetency. You may not understand, but that is a fact. We should not think that those people who have done good. The other time we saw the road linking the Bonamusadi and Bepanda, who are also supposed to construct the road. Have you tried to find out where are the people who raised the alarm? Those are some of those things we should get to tell the society. We should get to tell the audience that the things are done. We have people to blame because contracts are being awarded. People take and do what they are supposed to do, what they are not supposed to do, and that's why many of them are going. If not now, it is tomorrow. Okay. But nothing has been left untouched.
Good. My question. You said something about illegality and legality.
Yes.
That impounding of vehicles is something that happens illegal or legal. Let's not go to the details of illegality or legal.
Yes.
Which means that you are clearly telling us that, okay, what is in your definition? What is the function of the city mayor?
Oh, I will not actually.
Since you say that, okay, this confusion does not exist, it is clear cut. What is the function of the city mayor and the function of a mayor?
Okay, that one I will not be explicit on that because maybe he.
Well, he's giving you based on his experience.
He's giving you based on his
and
experience.
based on what they have been able to see on the ground in Douala,
Yes.
which happened in the days of Dr. Friston Anthony,
Yes.
and which is still happening today. Where you see Douala, you see a council 1 is fighting with council 2, and the council 2 is also telling you that no, then the city council comes and tell you that no, this issue is the city is a city issue. So now that's why we are saying that. He's saying that this confusion is coming because clear-cut policies and procedures have not been put in place to show that okay, this is where your power ends, this is your jurisdiction, this is what you can do, this is what you cannot do.
And that's if the
And that's why you say that no, there's no confusion about it. That's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah.
What is the function of the city mayor, and how is it different from that of a mayor in a particular municipality?
You started by giving one of the functions that if the two councils, let's say Douala 1 and Douala 2, having issues, inter-conflict issues, and the city mayor comes in, which means that the city mayor, the city council already plays the regulatory body as a regulatory body. But what I want to say is this:
is it decentralized or the city
it
mayor?
is. I'm talking about you mentioned.
There's no regulatory body when there's a conflict between two councils.
It is part of the decentralization policy. If we're in the north and south, we'll be talking about, we'll be bringing in the public independent conciliator. If we're in the north and southwest, we'll bring in the issue of the office of the public independent conciliator. But since it is not here, we will have to be. And they don't say the regulatory body doesn't mean that it's going to be punitive. That's why you're already thinking no, it's not punitive. We have bodies that are going to take charge in those things and arrange them. But what I'm trying to say is this: those things are there. There are clear-cut distinctions on what to do, who is to do what at what level. But now the problem we are having with us Cameroonians is that people do overlap into people's other functions. People are left with theirs and they do other ones. Let me go back to what we were saying about the issue of impounding vehicles. It's happened somewhere. I'm not going to call them. I'm not going to tell the place where people crossed into another subdivision, took bikes and went with it the other way. When it happened, people were there. If I call the names, you will recognize them. When it happened, when you went there, we said, okay, this is where the bike was. Luckily enough, those people, the bikemen who were involved, they knew that they were in, though they have not paid the duties they were supposed to pay, but they knew that this is where they are supposed to go and pay their dues and not this other way. So those are the things that when the mayor came, they were so, where are they coming from? Which particular jurisdiction? And then it turned out to be that it is those people who wants to get money at all cost. Some of the agents of the council who want to get money at all cost, doing that without the consent of the mayor. So I see at the end of the day, the mayor bears the blame. You see that, which means that those are some of the things we have to educate ourselves now. It is our role now to educate the public that please, if you are here, if you are a bike man, for example, if you should know, if you are a bike man under Douala 5, know the limits of Douala 5, where you can pay or collect whatever. Yes.
We have public works.
We have, yes.
There are roads within the city which are constructed by public works.
Yes.
These roads are roads that link the regional headquarters to the national road.
Yes.
And it passes through the municipal roads sometimes. There are areas where a road passes through the municipal road and the municipal mayor cannot work on it, telling you that it belongs to public work. We refuse that allegation.
Okay, let's take the example.
I'm going gradually.
Yes.
The second, you have urban development. Urban development has its own work that it's doing.
Yes.
City and urban, town planning and urban development. That same time, you have the regional, let's take for example Boya. You have the regional assembly that has its own budget.
Yes. That
the law gives them the ability, because the law says education and some kind of services are within their total control.
Yes. Secondary education.
Let's even go away from road. Let's take education. You have the Ministry of Basic Education. You have the regional delegate of basic education.
The concentrated.
You have the regional councillor, the regional councils that need to take charge of education in that same region, because the law says, as per the law of special status, give them that priority. And
there was a degree of application that was already sent on how the regional council
I am coming. How is supposed to manage education?
Yes.
Now you have the governor,
yes,
who is in that region. You have the regional council president, who is supposed to be the chief executive officer of the region, not the governor.
Yes.
But the governor still play that role. Now you have the regional council that is supposed to be in charge of all of these services, but that same Ministry of Education has delegate regional departmental delegate of education, and regional delegate of education, inspectors of education. Then at the end of the day, who does what?
Okay, you spoke about education. Well, let's get it clear. Before the actual application of the law of the 24th December 2019 on decentralization, we had all of these things in place. Yes, we still have them in place. But like I said, the process of decentralization is still going down gradually. And that is why everything comes one at a time. The decentralization law stipulates that the regional councils are going to take care of secondary education, just like the council, the local council are taking care of basic education.
The upcoming change.
That's just like the municipal council are taking care of basic education. The laws are there, and gradually, what is now at the level of implementation is the level of the disbursement of the various materials, the funds to manage it. And I bet you, at the long run, and I don't think that because the ministry, because the regional assembly is taking care of basic education, secondary education, that automatically scrapped off the regional delegate, of education, or the divisional delegate of education, and so on and so forth. Which means that if we are to say that only the regional assembly is taking care of education, and then we don't want the regional delegation to be there, or the divisional delegation to be there, then obviously you are saying that the Ministry of Education should not be there, which is not so. Which means that we have to look at what now is the role of the regional.
Is that not why this Mr. Nick Anu and
Can I finish? Let me finish.
No,
Yeah.
is that not why Mr. Nick Anu and
They're taking too much time to explain.
I am
Explain
They are
something
taking too much,
that
and that the same thing Mr. President is saying that we have to cut down the ministries, because you are saying, because you are confirming the fact that there is multiplicity and nobody is doing anything, because you are confirming, because we have the ministry of education that will be taking charge of that.
Yes.
Now you come and create a regional assembly and give them powers to take care of that same thing, that there is a ministry that exists within the regional level. Within that same regional level, you have the departmental level. Let's also take an issue about even the issue of special status. Let's take the issue about the SDOs and DOs.
A lot of questions.
No, the issue is you keep going on.
I want to explain so that we understand.
But your explanation takes long, Napa.
We should not only focus on. We should look at it. It is gradual. I cannot be able to demonstrate actually how it has been taken effect. How the regional assembly has completely.
What do you mean by gradual? Should we wait for 100 years for something to be done? You call it gradual?
I cannot lay my hands on how the regional assembly has taken off complete duties on education. But according to the law, it is going to be implemented. The regional assembly.
Have you heard of them saying that they came to power?
Council, I saw the degree of application. The regional council is going to manage education, and they are going to manage education particularly with teachers. The one I know is that the regional council are the ones who are going to be recruiting teachers. That is where I know. But taking over education completely from the ministry, from the regional delegation, from the divisional delegations, I do not know about that.
Do you know that special status stipulate that they will pay teachers, they will raise revenue to pay teachers, pay doctors in their service in their regions, they will pay.
That's what I was.
Do you know that they will raise? So they will raise all those issues. So you are saying that's what you are saying. But now we have an issue of the ministry. What becomes of the ministry? See?
The ministry does not pay teachers. It is the government that pays teachers.
No, we are not saying that the ministry pays teachers. We are talking about follow-up
Therefore, that is why, which means that at the end of the day, when all of these mechanisms have been put in place, the ministry is now like the follow-up body, the supervision. Like you said, the governor is just the supervisor of this. We are laughing, but those are things that are going to be implemented.
I don't know which, the camera is on you. Mr.
Please, we should understand these things. We should not be confused.
No, you guys say we should not. I am already confused.
Don't be confused.
The way you are explaining
follow the things directly the way they are.
How should we follow it?
The governor for the regional president is there, but the governor is still the supervisor of all administrative and security.
So the regional, who is now the official chief executive officer of the region per constitution?
By the constitution, the official chief officer of the region.
When it comes to regional status.
When it comes to regional status, is the president of regional council.
So what are you saying in essence?
That was a function of the governor.
The governor is a supervisor. He's a representative of the head of state.
Representing what? The law says.
So there's a representative of the head of state. No, excuse. You have raised an issue from Mr. Pizzo. You have raised an issue. The law states that the special status says that the regional delegate, the regional assembly president, right, is the chief executive officer of the region. Which
and shall represent the interest of the state.
Represent the interest of the state, the chief of the region, which means that he's that boss of the region. Now that same explanation is saying that okay, the governor is representing the head of state in that region. Then why don't you just say okay, there should not be any position of chief executive officer of the region if the governor is there in locals to represent the head of state in all major activities? Why the duplicity of function?
The governor is there as an appointed state official. Why the president of the regional council is an elected? We have two ways. There is deconcentration and decentralization. We should understand. There are this deconcentration, which means that deconcentration is those are.
So you are accepting now that you guys are doing deconcentration. You are accepting.
Mr. Pizzo.
You are not doing
decentralization. To pick a good candidate.
Yes. First of all, I want to say this. You see, sometimes when we look at situation, what is happening, people look at things, physically. And as I earlier said, the voters are just like confused because, there is this issue of a consensual candidate. Yes, but because people are unable to read in between the lines, they do not understand. First of all, it has never been said, but I will say it. First thing, we have been talking about a change, and most often people want to see change through their eyes. But actually, the change is in process. How is it in process? It's in process in that the young people, we were expecting to have a new generation of people to take over, and that new generation is there. But what is happening actually is that there is, in between that generation and the head of state, a group of people who are trying to just like play games. All of them have worked with the president of the republic, except maybe one who just came in, Cameroon. But all of those other people, they are just trying to, play the game of the CPDM. But I want all the population to know that the change is in process, and that change passes through, the voting of any of those young people that are there. First of all, I want all the voters to know that there is nothing like we have to choose, because we have their records. We have their records, and Cameroonians should be very, very aware of the fact that you cannot be somebody who has played, you cannot be a teammate with somebody, and then you come out from the team and you say you are going to change. You will not change anything. What Cameroonians need today is something new. And what I want to, again, encourage Cameroon to understand is that they shouldn't have the fear of tomorrow. if you have the fear of tomorrow, you will not do anything. You are defeated. And we have to gather all our courage to face tomorrow. And the second thing which I want to say here is that when we look at the candidate, the true candidate that will come for the opposition is within the Fumban group. It is not what people are hearing.
Is it Serge Mutomba?
Of course.
But Issa Chuma had a representative in the Fumban group. What he says from Fumban group,
listen, who presented him?
No, we say he had representative.
Who presented him? Who presented him?
Okay.
Who presented Issa Chiroma?
Okay.
It is
like
yes. Who?
It is Union for Change.
Union for Change, but they are not part of it. Please, excuse me.
No, they said part of the
Douala group.
I'm saying that
they are not saying that is the Douala group. A faction.
No, listen, excuse me.
Is Jukan Chaman not a member of the Douala group?
Listen to me. You see, those guys, I want to say here, they are clowns.
Yes. No, you may describe them clown. No, you may describe them clown. Mr. I'm on you now. You may describe them clown, but I want a straight answer, yes or no.
No, I want to give you some explanation.
No, you will learn. You give your explanation. But I just want us, for the sake of clarity, you have time.
Yes.
Is Mr. Jukan Chamani not part of the Douala group?
It's part of the Douala group.
Is Anisene Kane not
it's
a
part
member
of
the
that
Douala
group.
So will it not be fair to say that some members or part of the Douala group have endorsed
Okay, let's agree that
part
of them. Okay, part of them. Let us agree that part of them, because the group
with some other few individuals.
Yes, I agree.
That's why we are using the word part. We are not saying that the
I agree with you. It's part.
The land now.
Yeah, I still want to tell you that that is not the candidate. Why? Because if you look at all those who belong to that group, those are people who were there in the early 1990s, and that have reached an age. First of all, they didn't succeed. They didn't get what they wanted
in 1990.
From 1996 up to today, 1990 up to today, they have not had it. And so this is just their last card. The game they played for them to have the candidate of MRC and so on to come. It is a game of money. They just want to get their money because they know that after these elections, they are going to disappear. They will never hear about them again.
Okay.
So, you understand? So let it be very, very clear. But if you look at the group of Fumba, there are hopes.
But how will you feel if tomorrow UDC candidate who had indicated that she will like
she's ready to
put out if she is a consensual candidate? If by tomorrow, how will you feel if you hear that UDA has backed Chiroma and has Chiroma and Akere has backed Chiroma? Because Akere has called on Bello Buba and Chiroma to come together.
Yes.
And Akere was part of that Fuban.
Let me tell you. To an extent, I want to tell you that I do not agree with the role Akere Muna is playing. And that is why is of that group of people who are trying to, just put sticks on the younger generations.
So we say he's being realistic.
No, it's not realistic. I think, to me, if it's realistic, it's to support these young people. Let's say, first of all, to agree that the power today has to go to the younger generation. First of all, he has not been in the government. Secondly, he's not the leader of a political party. But he's coming as somebody who has expertise, who can help. The father was the speaker of the assembly. So he knows about a number of things. He's very well abreast of the international, laws and so on. He has mingled himself with people. So what role should he play? Is the role of a counselor to the younger generation and to the population of Cameroon. Because this mingling with Issa Chiroma, Bello Buba Magari, these are guys who are responsible of
Okay.
the condition where we are today in
Mr.
this
I want to
country.
ask you a question.
How?
Mr. Piso, I want to
Yes.
ask you a question. Are you a Christian or a Muslim?
No, it's not a matter.
No,
of,
I want to.
Excuse me. It's
no,
not
a
a
traditionalist. I want to ask you a question. No,
a traditionalist. You know.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to place their faith. I want to ask you just
I'm
so
here.
you are familiar.
No, it's not about faith. Excuse me.
Have you ever?
I'm here. Let's say I may accept that. You tell me I'm here as an intellectual.
Okay.
Because
are you familiar with Christian?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Are you familiar with the word Apostle Paul?
Apostle Paul, yes.
Who was killing Christians?
Yes, I know.
What happened at the
No. These are very, very different situations. Excuse me. These are very, very different. You see, we do not have enough time. I could have told you about Issa Chiroma, about Bello Buba. Why? Because in my early days as a civil servant, I saw all those people with my eyes when I was working in Adamawa. I can tell you the history of the UNDP. Yeah. You understand?
Yeah, I understand, but
how it was created and what happened.
Yeah, I'm just looking at you
in terms of ethics. You cannot trust those kind of things.
So we should trust Search
Yes,
Matomba.
he's better than them.
So
by far.
Are you confident that Search Matomba can win the national election?
Of course.
Does
he one border?
No. Does he have national representative in the northwest, the southwest region?
Yeah, we have regional representative all over the country. It is true that our party is not sufficiently grounded everywhere, but we have regional coordinators everywhere in the country, all over the country. And there is one thing, another thing, you see, there are some important features we have to take into consideration. You understand, when we are going into this election. First of all, people generally talk about the political project of the social or whatever project of a political party, but there are some other elements. Are you an elected candidate? That is, are you elected somewhere at the local level? That's one thing. Second thing is, I'm just giving them, without any precise order. Have you had an experience as a candidate at the presidential election? Thirdly, do you have the means to go in for the presidential elections? And then, how grounded is your party all over the nation? And all these elements, these are features that can help people to discuss and to see around who to converge.
We're out of time.
Before to go to
We're out of
elections.
time. We're out of time.
And we have all this.
Yes, now. Let me briefly. Why can't these younger candidates come together? If you claim that these are the people that we should trust, why is it so difficult for Search Matomba, Iram, and Teki to come together and say, okay, we want Search Matomba? Why are they also behaving like the
It is. There are two things. First thing, and which is not good, is self-interest. And if you look at those candidates very well, you can name those who are working for their self-interest, because you do not have the means to go to the elections. You must have, self-interest is when you want to gain for yourself, but you don't have the means. In this case, to go into elections. First, we have the means. That's the first. No. We have the means to go to election. We were in last election. And secondly, and not the least, you understand, we, the Cameroonians, must understand that we are in democracy, and that all political parties were created at their own time. They have their policies, their ideology, and so on. And never will you have an election wherever there is democracy when you have only the candidate, the incumbent, and then No.
We're
it
out
is
of
not
time.
possible.
Thank you for
But
coming.
it happens in other places.
Nick, thank you for coming. The last
Thank
one
you.
before we go.
Even though the program was as if it was for the two of them, and
Unfortunately, you
Yeah.
came late.
yeah, I was blocked by rain.
Yes, yes. So, the last one before we go.
Yeah, I just want to say there is no possibility for a younger candidate to win to be president of Cameroon at the moment. Cameroon is not Senegal. Cameroon is not Burkina Faso. We should not make this confusion by comparing leaders in those countries. The electorate in these countries are not the same like here. So at the moment, there's no possibility of a younger candidate leading Cameroon at this moment. Maybe the old guys will still be there. Maybe when they win election, they can transition to the younger generation. But for now, I don't see them as a political observer. I don't see them winning any election. First of all, they don't have what it takes. They don't have the electorate that it takes to win a national election. That is a fact. And to me, saying that because Issa Chiroma and the rest have worked for the government, it means that they are traitors or they cannot be opposition is not true. In politics, there's nothing like political dogmatism where because you have worked with somebody or you have worked with the system, you cannot go against the system. Kamto had worked with the system and is one of the highest threat to the system at the moment. And there's nothing to say that because Issa Chiroma had supported the government and so he cannot beat the government in an election. It's not true. In politics or in democracy, in politics, everything changes as the time goes. And I think at the moment, we are looking at reality. We're looking at what it takes for somebody to win an election. And we think that at the moment, Issa Chiroma has what it takes, given the fact that if he gains just a little support from the other candidate, he has what it takes to beat the system in an election. That is a fact that we just have to accept. The interests of the younger political parties, their personal interest is not important to us. Many of them, we know that they are not interested in winning the presidency because they know that they don't have what it takes to win the presidency. Most of them, they are interested to gain other positions like being parliamentarians and other positions, and they want to use the presidency to gain that visibility, and so that at the end of the day, they settle for that. We know all of that game, but as it comes to this kind of transition moment in Cameroon, it needs a level-headed, matured individual, politician, who can take this country through a transition and then bring the country, put the country back to a normal kind of array, and then maybe bring a level playing field for everybody so that these younger candidates can now come in and then win election freely. By that time, they must have gained more experience and they must have had all the means to win elections. But as it stands now, they don't have what it takes. We should tell ourselves they don't have what it takes to win an election. And I think supporting Chiroma, I'm not a member of his party. As a political observer, I just see that. I'm looking at what it takes to win an election. And the pool, yes. He has what it takes to win the electorate as we speak right now.
He may not be the best. Okay, thank you for coming.
Thank you, and I want to say that my few last words. Let's look at since the other because Cameroonians.
We're out of time.
Yes,
thank you for coming.
Let all the other political parties, the other candidates, let them go closer to President Biya so that President Biya will transmit the wisdom to them after this, because the next generation we are taking over. Thank you, and happy birthday to Kinko Edwin, who is celebrating his birthday right there in Cambe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Priso, for coming. Hopefully that we'll be having you every Sunday.
Well, I'm there. It depends on my agenda. But I want to assure you that I can always be there.
Yeah, last word before
even when after the elections. Well, I want to encourage Cameroonians to go to the Elecam offices and withdraw their cards, and then let them stay away from the confusion that is out. You know, information telling them about this and that. Consensual candidates and so on.
But young candidates who come with
there are young candidates, but among those candidates, there is one I invite Cameroon to choose his promoter.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to wish you happy Sunday, Mr. Nyam Robert and your wife Joan. Happy Sunday to you, your children, Maya Kera, my friend Agbo Charles in Canada. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday, Papa Jane DC, and all those of you who have been watching us out of the country. In case you want to be a partner of our program, reach us to the numbers that you saw on your screen, 6761384. And this program will rebroadcast today at exactly 10:30 p.m. You have a rebroadcast of this same program today, 10:30 p.m. and also we will be on our YouTube channels. You have BT Media Group or My Media Prime. Any of them, you have the program on our YouTube channel. I want to thank you very much, Elvis, for the production team, and also thank the studio manager who is here, whose name I will yet to know. Thank the studio manager and the broadcast technician. I leave you with this: no matter the matter, what matters is your matter. What your matter is that you should go and collect your voter's card, because come October 12th, it will be a decisive day. Whether you will be saying Pobia Oye, or you'll be saying Princess Eshwa Matomba, or you'll be saying Isa Chiruma, or you'll be saying Hiram, whichever candidate you choose. But like I always say, nobody should bully you for your choice of political party that you support. We should talk about records and track records, and also personalities, personal achievement, and not individual decision to choose a particular political party. Tah Mai Javis is my name. Until we meet again, stay out of trouble. Bye bye.